I know there are a lot of guys that are in my shoes and they don't really know how to do this. And no one's really out there to help them because it's really easy to say, just go out. Well, I'm stuck in the office for most
Put
of the time.
yourself out there.
Yeah, put yourself out there.
Yes. Looking for a player too? Welcome to the Date Like a Nerd podcast, where your gamer skills, dice rolls, and cosplay are your greatest dating assets. I'm Alex, and I'm a dating coach who helps shy, introverted nerds find their player two organically. I've interviewed hundreds of nerds and learned what really works. Here we skip the just be confident cliches and get real about how nerds actually made their player two. Are you ready? Hey everyone, I'm Alex, and I help shy, introverted nerds get over their fears and anxieties to find their player two. Today I bring you Brandon, a single nerd who's looking for his player two. The idea is to address some of your questions and so that you can hear from other nerds who are in the same quest as you. Brandon, thank you so much for coming.
Glad to be here.
So just to get started, what makes you a nerd?
I'm into nerdy things like, well, for starters, video games. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for it, but I'm also into things like Star Wars, movies, just like nerdy movies in general, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, things like that.
Awesome. So tell me about your dating life. Like, how's that going? What have you been finding?
It's pretty average. I want to say it's boring, but it's pretty average. Like for the weekdays, I just wake up, I have an office job, so I just go to that. And I go there till about around 5 or 6 p.m. I should be home by then. And then whatever I need to do, I do then. It could be, errands, or if nothing, I just, play some games, maybe study. And then that's my day for at least the weekdays, at least.
And what about the weekends?
Pretty, sometimes I plan things, sometimes I don't. It's very open. So sometimes I might go out into the city and just hang out, or I'll just stay home and just hang out.
What does hang out mean?
It could be just like playing video games on myself or with friends, catching up with a series I've been looking forward to. At least that's for the home stuff. But if I'm out, maybe I'll go to really nice. In LA, there's a lot of nice places, so I try to explore as much as I can.
Do you explore with friends?
No, sometimes with family, but sometimes with friends and family, but it's kind of a rare instance that happens. It's usually by myself.
Right. So it sounds like for the most part, you either spend time by yourself or with people that you already know. Is that right?
Yeah.
So where does dating come in?
That's the fun part. Or that's the neat thing. It really doesn't. At least not for years at this point.
But you're looking like you would like to be with someone.
Eventually, yes.
Okay. So like when we first talked on Instagram, like you mentioned, like, and correct me if I'm not remembering right, like you're like, that couldn't happen to you because like you're too shy and out of school. But it doesn't sound like you're actively wanting or looking for anything.
I think the thing is, when I do try, it just doesn't really work out. It's not to say that I've never been on dates before. It just doesn't really go beyond that. So I've been doing this since high school, and right now I graduated back in 2019, so it's been a while. So I've been doing it since then, but with how long it's been without any luck, I just kind of go with the flow, if that makes sense. Like, I pursue that part of my life, but not nearly as much as I did before. So right now I'm just kind of just living life. I don't want to be, I guess I don't want to be tied down to just focusing only on that, if that makes sense. I want to live my life as well. But, I still, on like the rare occasions, I'll pursue something like that. Or at least try to.
What does it look like when you have pursued something?
Asking people out, whether that's someone I know or someone I don't know. And then, from there, that's kind of like, yes or no. Usually it's no, which I understand. A lot of people are already taken, or they're just not interested. Okay, cool. But when it does happen, I try to like schedule a date, and then we go on that. Um, and then I just kind of at that point, I really don't have much luck beyond that point. So, but you know, I'm not gonna be like sad over it if that makes sense. I just want to, I just want to let it be. If it is what it is what I'm trying to say.
Sure. But like, so you said like sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes, which is, I mean, totally normal. How are you meeting these people? You said some of them you already knew, some you didn't.
Well, back in the day, it would have been school, and
Sure.
then and then college, which is the same thing as school. Sometimes it would be friends through friends of friends, or actually, that's pretty much right. Like friends of friends. I've tried dating apps, does not work. At least not for me. Like it just doesn't. I've tried so many apps and it just doesn't. I don't even want to spend like any more money on that stuff.
More money, so you have spent money.
Yeah, because some of these like they don't even let you swipe right without like paying, which is I know it's absurd.
Which ones?
Like Tinder, I think you only have like a certain amount of swipes per day.
Yeah, per day.
Yeah, I think it's like only 3 or 5 or something.
No, it's quite a few.
I could have sworn because I was like swiping and they said, "Oh, you need to pay extra." I'm like, "What do you mean? That's pay extra?" And then I tried DMing. "Oh, you can't DM without paying." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Mm,
Maybe I'm remembering it differently or it's different now, but I'm like, I the way I remember it back then was like I couldn't pursue certain people or a certain amount of times without paying, and then I would have to pay sometimes.
unless Tinder works differently in the US, which I highly doubt.
Mm.
And actually, I highly doubt it because I just went through the US for a few layovers. And I like, usually I like seeing what it's like on every place that I go to, just out of curiosity. And I'll be swiping endlessly and like no issues.
Really? Maybe maybe it was different, or maybe I had a different version or something. I was like 80% sure I had to pay for stuff.
Maybe it's your PTSD.
Maybe, maybe.
Like, but I know the experience with dating apps is quite traumatic, so maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. I will say though, the only one I'm involved with is Facebook dating. That is 100% totally free. You just have to have an account, and I think that one I'm not miserable with it. I'm not losing anything by pursuing that part of it.
Okay.
So that's really the only one I'm involved with. All the like famous ones like Tinder, Hinge, OkCupid or whatever. I'm not into that.
What is it about Facebook dating that you do actually, I'm not going to say enjoy, at least that you're at least not traumatized by?
I think there's just no barrier to entry outside of just making an account.
Okay.
And like I don't have to worry about, oh, this isn't working out, I'm losing money. Well, I ain't lose money. It's completely free. And there's no barrier to, if I do match with someone, I don't have to worry about paying to text them. So it's basically I could just kind of let my account be, or I could actively be on it and not have to worry about losing anything.
I don't know of any app, I may be wrong, but at least the most popular ones, I don't know any of them that you have to pay after matching to text someone.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back into it. Maybe I'm remembering things incorrectly.
Look, I'm not one to defend dating apps. I think they're useful. I think they do work, but I also think that they traumatize people. Clearly, Exhibit A. But in my experience, and I've tried most of the most popular ones, and my clients and everyone that I work with have as well, like you can do a lot of things without paying. And you can find partners without paying as well.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to get into. Like, even though I've tried all these, like I've never actually been on a date before through any of them, including the Facebook one. So
sure,
that's kind of part of the reason why I don't want to pursue that much anymore. Outside of the Facebook one, obviously, because again, I'm not losing anything. Yeah.
But that's like a side thing that you do every now and then. It's not like
I don't want to spend too much time on it because, as you said, I could be traumatized by it. So I want to get too much into it.
Yeah. No, like I find that in the stories that I've heard from people who did find their partners from dating apps, it was usually like everybody was having the same shitty like experience, and it was either just plowing through or just not making it a priority, right? Like doing other stuff other than using the apps.
Yeah.
That was usually the case when it did work. But so you did say that you have asked like friends of friends out, and like it didn't work out for whatever reason. Can you tell me a bit more about like what was your relationship like before you asked them out? Like why you asked them out? How did that go usually?
Um, it really just depends on the person. Like if I knew them well, I would just be like, "Hey, I have feelings for you. I would like to see where this goes." And it's up to them at that point. But sometimes if it's someone I don't really know, I'm like, "Hey, I want to get to know you more. You want to grab coffee or something?" And then at that point, again, it's up to them.
You say you wanna grab coffee, and they say no.
Uh, Sometimes, most of the time, they say no. And again, like I'm okay at my age. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like everyone's, I'm not. I don't want to say everyone's, but like most people are either like focused on something else or they already have a partner. So like it's kind of expected at
Sure.
that point. But yeah, most of the time it is a no. But sometimes it is a yes, and I try to take advantage of those.
I'm just curious, like, why do they say no to a coffee? Like, do you say that it's a date?
I I try not to. I want to be. I don't know if I feel too creepy about like being like you want to go on a date, but I kind of want to keep it more casual. But like,
Sure.
do you want to like grab coffee? And then I'm sure they know the intention of grabbing coffee. At least I hope so. And then, uh, yeah, I just let them decide from there. I don't want to push it too hard, if that makes sense.
There's an idea that I like, which I call a Schrodinger date. You know the
Hmm.
Schrodinger cat that you don't know if it's alive or not?
I've never heard that one.
So, so Schrodinger's cat, the idea is, I mean, Schrodinger was a physicist and it had nothing to do with cats. The actual theory was about like, I don't know, atomic particles. I'm not a physicist. But then this, like, it sort of became a meme of like, let's see if I remember it correctly, because almost everybody remembers that. So you have a cat inside a box with a poison that could go off at a random point, but the box is closed. And until you open the box to check if the cat is alive or not, the cat could be either or, right? And again, this is actually about physics. This is not about cats, but that's what people sort of like remember. And I took that idea and I started talking about Schrodinger dates, where, like you said, like you want to get to know the person better, right? And you don't want to put too much pressure or being coming across as creepy and be like, hey, let's go on a date. And so they're like, hey, let's go for coffee. Cool. Is it a friendship coffee? Is it a date, romantic date? I don't know. We'll see. TBD. And in most cases, most people would say yes, right? Because it's like, there's not really any pressure to make it romantic, to have them decide whether they like you or not. It's just like, hey, let's go meet up. Let's go to this. So I'm curious what it is that you're saying that's making them not want to go on a, well, not saying, but like, what's the reason why they may not want to go to get coffee?
Well, I don't try to dwell on that too much. I mean, everyone's got their preferences, and I don't want to
Sure.
push people to, tell me like why didn't it work
No,
out
no,
with
no.
this. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying asking them. I'm just saying like, maybe we can like brainstorm like with your regular friends, right? You have met them one-on-one. I'm guessing
Yeah.
some of them. So like, when you invite them to hang out one-on-one, they say yes, but they don't assume that it's romantic.
Well, okay. I think I should get more into detail on that one. When I say like hang out with my friends, I have like a very small pool of them. We've been friends since, God, at this point it's like middle school. Before that, like first grade. So we've been friends for most of our lives. And most of the time when we get together, it's more like a reunion, which is like both men and women. We come together and we just kind of hang out, catch up.
As a group.
Yeah, as a group, not necessarily just one on one.
Okay. So you don't usually hang out with friends one-on-one?
No, not usually.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, I don't really have. I mean, I did. How do I explain this? Sorry, it's just like it happened. It happens so rarely that I have to really like dig deep into it. So I have hung out with friends one on one, but I don't know if I ever really made it clear that it was like a romantic interest. But
I'm talking about friends.
oh, as far as like friends go,
Just friends.
it is extremely rare that I hang out one on one.
Okay.
I don't know. It just the opportunities just never really came up. If with the group thing, that's like planned in advance. When it goes to like one on one, that really is kind of last minute, let's wing it kind of thing, and that's pretty rare to happen.
Would you like to have one-on-ones with friends?
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's just finding the opportunities to do so.
What about planning it?
Right now, everyone's kind of doing their own thing right now. All my friends are working or they're traveling the world. I'm kind of like at this limbo where you're either grinding out the corporate ladder or you're traveling the world. So it's kind of like they're not even in the state anymore. So
Right.
it's really hard to even find one of my friends that are like free on certain days, and even harder to actually plan around that. So I would love to if the opportunities come up. They're just not there at the moment.
I'm starting to understand why you were talking about the reunion. Like, it sounds like it's a rare occasion when you guys meet.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
right?
maybe like 2 or 3 times a year, kind of rare thing.
Yeah, super rare. Super rare. And with your family? You said you hang out with your family as well?
Yeah, I mean, I still live with my parents.
Oh, you live with them?
Yeah. So I mean, but the thing is, we're most of the day we're not even home. So we're just out doing our work, and then we come home, and then that's maybe 4 hours to hang out with them. That's not really much, and that's usually dinner, then getting ready for the day tomorrow. But usually weekends we kind of go out to the city and do things we either like to do or things we haven't done before, or we go off and do our own things. Like I would go to into the city myself. Maybe I'm not sure if you heard the Riot Games arena. Sometimes I go to that. Yeah, Riot Games has an arena. Sometimes pro players play there. So if I have free time and the schedules line up, if the season's going on, I would go to those and hang out over there. And everyone else would do their own thing as well. My brother might go to the beach, hang out with his friends. And then my sister is the same thing. And then maybe my parents will have like some time to themselves. So we kind of like have our own little thing going on, but sometimes we do as a group. It just depends.
I'm curious about the arena. Can you tell me about that? How does it work? What is it? What's the dynamic?
I'm not sure if you heard about Riot Games.
I know Riot. I just didn't know that they have like a special place.
Yeah, they have like designated locations all over the world. Like they have one in Los Angeles, which, you know, lucky me, I just happen to be next to them. But they also have some in like Berlin, I believe Korea, somewhere in Brazil, where they have a franchise league going on. So they have their players move into the city. And then they have like scheduled days to play their matches. And then you could buy tickets online. They're pretty cheap, actually. It's amazing. Like $20 to $40. You go in and you just watch the players play. And these are matches that actually do matter. So people tune in. They come in droves. So you just go watch them for both like League of Legends and Valorant. It's really nice. It's like I guess the best way I could compare it to is baseball, where they have like scheduled times and people pay the tickets to get into the arena or the stadium. Pretty much that.
It's a sports event.
Yeah, it's pretty much a sports event. I overcomplicated it, but yeah, it's a sports event.
Yeah, well, it's an esports event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get to meet people that way? Because it sounds like it's crowded, full of people who share your same taste on video game.
Sometimes yes. It is rare. It is kind of rare though. I am kind of like doing my own thing there because that's kind of like my, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a mini vacation to me. Like I just kind of like forget about everything that's going on in my life and I just enjoy being there.
By yourself?
Usually by myself. Sometimes I bring my brother, but most of the time it's me.
Okay. Would you like to meet people there?
It would be nice.
Because, like, I mean, what I'm hearing from you is, like, you either hang out by yourself or with your family, like, and you mentioned, like, your close family, not, like, extended. And when you mention hanging out with friends, it sounds like it's, like, 2-3 times a year as a group.
Yeah.
And you're not using dating apps. So,
not anymore, no.
yeah. So, like, your options for meeting someone are pretty slim. Unless you approach random people in the street, which I would not suggest.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's not nearly as great as like just, people you know.
Well, it's not only that. It's just like I've interviewed hundreds of nerds in relationships, and I think only one met like that.
Yeah, so it probably doesn't even work in the first place.
Exactly. That's why I'm like that. I mean, if it works, I'll be like, yeah, sure, maybe try it, but it doesn't even work. So, which, like, if you were interested in finding someone, how do you think you would go about it? How would you prefer?
If I could wait, are you asking if I had the option to meet someone?
Like, if you would like to focus a bit more on that, right? Because, like, based on your comment on Instagram, it was like, it's not like, oh, this will never work for me because, like, I have no options. I am shy. I'm not longer in school, right? I heard a desire to meet someone where I read that. I am not hearing anything that you're doing actively to meet someone.
Yeah. I really don't know what I would choose, like what kind of activity I choose specifically, because school was really the one place I would have done it if I had like a choice, but I'm already beyond that. Like I'm done with high school, I'm done with college. Yeah. So I think it's more of like I really don't know where to look. And and you were kind of like talking about asking people in public, as funny as that is, I actually have done that, a handful of times before. And while it's never really worked, that's kind of really all I have right now. Just going out and doing my thing. And then, if I see someone that interests me, then I pursue that. That's really all I have right now.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you said it didn't work. My surveys say it doesn't work. So
yeah, I haven't seen the surveys. So,
well, I mean, I did one from Mexico, and now I'm now finishing the results from Toronto, and it's pretty much the same when it comes to cold approaches on the street.
Yeah, put mine in the list.
Yeah. The way that I usually suggest that people start digging into where they want to meet people, because so here's the thing. In both of the surveys and in the interviews that I've been doing for my podcast and everywhere, the sort of like common thread outside of dating apps is making friends, right? And it should be a group, or it should be a space where you meet new people regularly. So if you're meeting 2 or 3 times a year with the same close, small group of friends, then that doesn't work. If you meet every single weekend with a small group to play D&D, also that doesn't work. It helps for many things. Like it helps as a support system. It helps, like, it's great. But it's not like you need to have new people coming into a group so that you can meet someone new as part of the group. Right. And so the way that I would start is just like asking, like, what do you like to do? You like video games. What else do you like to do?
As far as outside the nerdy stuff goes,
Inside or outside the nerdy stuff? Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
I'm into tech stuff. I kind of buy and tinker with things like gaming mice, gaming controllers. Like I just built my custom controller. And as far as like non-nerdy stuff goes, I would be probably snowboarding, skateboarding, and I'm trying to get into the board sports basically.
Sports.
Yeah, the board stuff. So, skateboarding, I try to do as much as I can. It's just really hot to the point where if I even go out there for 5 minutes, I'm just drenched in sweat.
And that's when you surf.
That's why I'm trying to get into surfing. So I can actually enjoy it. And then when during the winter times when the mountains are like snowed up, I just go for some like a snowboarding trip.
Cool. I can see all of those working for me for meeting people, man. Like, let's pick one. Which one do you want to brainstorm?
Well, surfing's out of the question because I haven't even tried it yet. So.
That's even better.
What do you mean by that?
You can take classes.
Yeah, I that's the plan at this
point.
Group
classes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's an opportunity I didn't really think about.
Like, some people say like, oh, like, and I have heard this from clients even. They're like, no, I already mastered this. I don't want to take any classes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if you haven't even started, taking classes is a great way to meet people.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, with skateboarding is probably the best I'm at right now. Snowboarding, I've taken maybe one lesson, but I'm more of like I kind of like teach myself at that point how to like maneuver the board, how not to fall, basically. I have taken one lesson, but it wasn't, it was a group one as well, but there was maybe 2 other people with me. So I don't know if that was really,
sure.
Yeah, that wasn't really much of an opportunity. So maybe the surfing might be a better way.
Sure. The key is that like you go take the lesson or the lessons, hopefully quite a few, and you get to meet the same people over and over again. And the idea is that then you stay in touch, and then you can maybe like say like, hey guys, let's go to the beach and practice together. And they may bring some of their friends who may also be into surfing. Because like, it's not always the case, but in many cases, people pursue activities because they have friends who also do them. And so that got them curious. And so like you might join their friends or vice versa. Like their friends might join your group, for example. And you get to practice. You get to learn from others as well.
Yeah, that'll be I'll definitely look into that, the group ones. Because with skateboarding, it was completely like, my dad taught me that. There was no lessons involved with that. And then some of that carried over to the snowboarding. So yeah, I don't know how it apply, how much of that skill applies to surfing. So maybe I will have to take group classes anyways.
Sure. With skateboarding, I have seen big communities of skaters like going to like skate parks and stuff.
Yeah, the thing is, the way I skateboard, it's mainly I'm not doing crazy tricks. It's more I do it to cruise around my neighborhood. Like I'm not really with anyone when I do it.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can tell. I don't know much about skateboarding, but is it possible that in the same way that you like to just cruise around, other people also like to cruise around?
I mean, in my neighborhood, it's pretty rare to see someone even skateboard.
I'm saying your neighborhood. I'm saying like anywhere.
Oh yeah, in general, yeah, there are a lot of people that cruise around.
Yeah. So like maybe if you went somewhere where there's other skaters, you can be like, hey guys, do you want to just go to, and I mean, you were saying that LA has lots of places to see and to visit and to like, to sort of like be sort of like a tourist in, right? How about
Yeah.
how about you do that in a group? Skating.
I would have to find where these people are.
Sure. Where do you think they are?
No idea actually. Like I said, I haven't really looked into that. There's like a skate park near my place, like near my work.
Mm-hmm.
But they're usually there when I work, and just passing by them, like it's that looks nice, but it's like the tricks kind of board. Where they're doing flips around and like grinding on the bar or whatever you call it.
Sure.
I don't know if I'm prepared to do that yet, or ever. I'm not sure if
You
that's
don't have to. And that's the best thing. We're talking about cruising. We're not talking about you like doing big jumps. Like, what about Facebook groups?
I'm not on Facebook much, but I don't
You're
even know how to
Facebook dating.
Yeah, but it's mainly like I open the app, look into it maybe for 5 minutes on my lunch break, and then call it.
Sure. Look, one way that, so like, I'm a digital nomad. I've been moving around for the past, I've been living outside my home country, which is Argentina, since 2013. And since 2019, I've been just changing cities every 3 to 6 months. Right. So I have to meet new people everywhere I go. And a big part of how I meet people is Facebook groups. And I would bet that if there's a skate park, there has to be a Facebook group. And you can just go and say, hey, who wants to go cruise around this area? It's a really nice area to go skateboarding. That's one option.
Yeah, I don't really even know how Facebook works really. I kind of made it just to stay in touch with my family, and then I just happened to find like a dating version of it. So I still gotta navigate how the app works.
There's a search bar.
Yeah.
You search for skate Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now.
And then select groups.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that.
That's it. You also have AI. You can go to the AI and say, I want to meet skaters who want to go cruising around in the LA area.
Yeah, it'll suggest something for me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was an AI in this.
No, I'm not saying about Facebook. I'm saying like in like any AI, ChatGPT, whatever you like.
Yeah, okay.
Like I have a short reel if you want to watch it later, which is part of a longer video, which is like all the different ways you can find stuff. There's also, I don't know, have you heard of the app Meetup?
I have not.
So Meetup is an app where people just like get together to do stuff. And depending on where you are, depending on the city and stuff, there's more or less, and there's different types of activities, but there's usually, it's all over the world. And in a big city like LA, I am betting that there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I think another issue is just finding the time for it. Like I said, my weekdays are pretty occupied. And I'm not saying this to make an excuse. Everyone has to do this, but sure. I think it's just I'm not really great at scheduling this kind of stuff. So when I'm coming home from my regular job, I still I haven't mentioned this. Even though I'm done with college, I'm still studying for my nursing boards. So that's something I have to do pretty much at least every other day. I try to do it every day, but at the very least I do it every other day.
Right.
And I still have to prepare for that. So by the time like an actual break comes in, I'm kind of just, I don't want to say drained because I obviously have the energy to go out and do things, but I'm kind of like, I know this day is like my day. I want to take advantage of it as much as possible. At least that's my mentality going into it.
No, I totally agree. What I'm wondering is like you've mentioned that you go and hang out even by yourself or with your family.
Yeah.
Like let's keep the family. That's fine. But like by yourself, would you replace the time by yourself with the time doing the same exact thing, but with other people, or something else that you're enjoying?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that.
But
it's a matter of finding the people. But
Sure.
like you said, the Facebook groups are there, and I never even thought about the Facebook groups. The only social media I've ever really used is like I'm always active on is probably Instagram, which is where you found me. Uh, that's really the only place I'm really active on. I'm not even on TikTok. I'm rarely on Twitter or X or whatever people call it. Facebook is probably the least I've used outside the dating part.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Have
that's
you looked for skaters in LA or surfers in LA?
surfing is a very new thing I just came up with maybe a week ago.
Sure.
Uh, Skateboard, not really the skateboarding stuff. I haven't really looked into that either. Snowboarding, it's more of like the in-person conversations that I do.
What
I
do you
haven't really met any friends there, but I have like talked to people.
mean? Okay. What drove you to talk to those people?
Uh, Probably just uh, the way it works is that you go on the chair. I don't even the lift, and it just
Yep.
takes you up. Sometimes I sit with someone, and it's someone random, and then something sparks, and then we have a conversation that we just go on about
Yep.
doing the whole ride thing. Or if I'm resting, there are like low rest areas, and sometimes I find someone to talk to there. But yeah, those would be like the places I would find people to talk to.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I do have a little experience with snowboarding. Not that I'm a great snowboarder or anything, but
Oh no, me neither. I
usually,
suck.
yeah. Usually what I found was like you would like have a chat on the lift and then you would just like split ways, right?
Yeah.
When you get to the top. I did see people socializing a lot inside like the bars or the restaurants, those kinds of places, or like you're saying, like resting, right? And that's sort of what happens, I would imagine, like same with like conventions, right? Like everyone's doing their thing and every now and then you like sit down for a break. Now, the catch, I think, is like how often for how long do you go snowboarding each time? For the day or for like a week?
Most of the time it's just for a day.
Right.
On rare occasions, if it's somewhere far, I do end up renting somewhere like a hotel or a cabin. But that's very rare. Like I've only done that maybe twice ever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because what I found is that it's hard to actually make friends and bond with people if you only meet them once. It happens. It's not like it can't happen. But my suggestion is always doing something regular where you can meet people over and over again. For example, surf classes that is not just one-off, right? If you have like, I don't know, 4 classes, 8 classes of surfing, that sort of starts becoming a group after a while.
Yeah. It's actually been a while since I've been in a group like that, so yeah. I'll definitely look into that one.
You said you are studying. Are you just studying for an exam, or are you?
It's just an
classes?
exam.
Okay. It's
No,
just an
I
exam.
don't take classes. It's purely just for the exam.
Right.
So
So
that's home.
yeah. So that's why you can't really meet people that way. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. When are you gonna be done with the exam?
If everything goes well, I'm gonna try to do it like maybe late October, early November.
Okay, almost done.
Yeah. The thing is that I could fail it and I have to do it over again, which thankfully I don't, that's not something that will like kill my career or anything like that. But, it is something that is kind of taking my time. And it's going to take
Sure.
even more time if I don't pass it this time around.
Why do you think you're not gonna pass it?
It's hard. This is not my
Okay.
first time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I'm going to fail it. I'm just saying there's a world where I don't pass it.
There's always a chance
Yeah.
where you don't pass. There's always a chance where someone says no to a coffee.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
But I mean, you're doing your best, and hopefully by the end of November you will have more free time.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan. Just, get it done. And then I could open up to a lot more opportunities. It's just again, like I'm not saying it's as an excuse. I know everyone has to do it, but it's not helping.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. No, and again, like I'm not saying you have to drop everything and start dating.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I suggest you don't drop everything and start dating. Like, that's like, don't make it the center of your world. The only thing is, like, it makes absolute sense that you're not meeting anyone, because you're not meeting anyone at all.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you mentioned being shy. I don't know how shy you are meeting friends and new people. Like, you told me that you had conversations with strangers, at least when you were snowboarding.
Yeah.
Or were you just talking about cold approaches?
I think it's a little bit of both. I'm very aware. I don't want to say, I don't know if this might make me a little delusional, but I'm kind of like aware that not everyone wants to be bothered during their day. So I think there's always like the risk of, like, I run in my head, like, the risk of, am I bothering this person?
We're talking cold approaches.
Yeah, like cold approaches. Yeah.
Yes.
Am I bothering this person? Are they already having a bad day? And then just, someone approaching them is just going to make it worse.
Yeah.
That kind of like messes with my head too. I will admit that. So
I don't call that shy myself. I call that normal. Like, how are you when you're with, like, when you're on a lift with a stranger next to you? Do you start a conversation?
Not all the time. Most of the time I just kind of let it be, because I know everyone's just doing their own thing there.
Sure.
So most of the time I don't really.
And if they talk to you?
Oh, I talk back for sure. Like, I keep it going, but very rarely do I actually start it.
Right. So if you were to be in a group, like, just came, like, random example, like a surfing lesson group, would you be able to talk to people?
I think I have to get comfortable with being there to begin with.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just not the kind of guy that will see a group and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
No. I mean, like, you taking a group class, and you talking to your classmates.
Yeah. Even like in the group class like that, it takes me a while to get comfortable in that kind of environment. Like, I don't know what it is. Even in like school, if I'm going to a new place, I really don't even, like, just based on just looking back at how it was before, I really didn't talk to anyone until like weeks in. Like, I just got to get comfortable with being around those people first, and then I, start talking.
Okay. Even more of a reason for you to take group classes.
Yeah. Get used to it.
Yeah. Look, like I said, I change cities every 3 to 6 months, and I usually go either like to join a new group, like here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And here I joined a board game group, and it's board games. It's nerds. It's my people. But everyone was just like talking about the people that they know, people that I had never heard of. I was like super lost. I started playing paddle, which is like sort of like tennis, but slightly different. And I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I don't know anyone. Everyone's like chatting amongst themselves. But like the second time that I went, somebody recognized me and said hi. The third time, someone called me by my name and asked me like how something had gone. Like, it takes a while. And I've been doing this for over like, how long? 2013, like over 12 years, like going to new places and meeting new people. It takes a while.
Yeah.
But once you get comfortable, then you can be yourself, right?
Yeah. It's just that I've never really had a group that just stays.
Yeah.
Like, all the groups I've been to, whenever ends, people, they just go on their own. And then the last group I had was actually for the exam I was taking, and we were decently close. Like, we would talk a lot, but then once that ended, I haven't talked to them since. And that was all the way back that was like years ago.
Right. What do you think happened there?
A lot of them were overseas. So a lot of them actually came here for that, which still blows my mind. You came here for that exam? Are you kidding me? But yeah, some of them were like in Alaska, some of them Hawaii, some of them in the East.
Sure. And the ones that weren't?
There was only maybe like one I knew that was here.
Okay. I would say that's a rare exception.
Yeah, that is so. I was so surprised at the kind of place I was in. Like people were living abroad.
Yeah,
that was very rare. So I want to like dwell on that one because I know that was just bad luck.
Yeah. How many foreigners do you think you would find who would only go to a specific surfing class?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Like how many people from overseas do you think would...
Probably not a lot.
Exactly.
Probably no one.
And like I would absolutely believe you if you told me like, yeah, like the group got together for the classes and then we finished the classes and then everyone split up. That's absolutely normal.
Yeah.
What usually happens with that is that nobody sort of like initiated or promoted to continue in the relationship, which is normal. But you can be the one who does that. You can be the one who says after the course is over, after the group classes are over, you can say, hey guys, I'm going to go practice. Who wants to come?
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for me. But like I said, this was a thought in my head only a week ago. So
sure.
I still got to look into that.
Yeah, but I am not just talking about surfing.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about anything. Like, you go to the Riot Arena to watch. Can you get involved in an esports team? Would you want to? Not necessarily professionally if you don't want to.
Yeah, no, I did actually do that in like high school and stuff, but I don't really know. It's just it's kind of hard to meet someone in that kind of environment because there are already so many people in their groups. Either it's a couple or an actual like five person group. It's really hard to. I guess the way I would describe it is I don't want to invade anyone's space. Or I want to feel like I'm invading their space and just some guy comes into their group and like, who the heck is this kid? And then as far as like people that are going by themselves, it's pretty hard to find people like that. So yeah, I think it's just difficult in an environment where it is. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of something you have to be there to I don't even, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but it's kind of hard to explain if you're not there.
I'm curious why you talk about invading someone's group.
I feel like when people establish those groups already, I feel like they're just kind of doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to just barge into whatever they're doing.
Sure. Like you don't want to be that guy who sort of like started a conversation and like stuck to them like a leech.
Yeah, I want to be a leech basically.
Yeah. What if instead you invited them to join you?
I think I have to get to that point first. I haven't really gotten the opportunity to be like, hey, let's get together. I haven't really found that yet.
What would it take for you to get there?
I think just learning how to make those groups would be a good start.
Tell me more.
Like, what would it take for me to... That's a really good question. I haven't really thought about that. I just kind of... Every time I've been there, I just kind of... Like I said, I just kind of do my own thing there. That's kind of like my day.
And you don't want to invite anyone?
I don't know anyone to invite.
No, you don't want to invade anyone's
group.
group.
Invade. yeah, I won't invade anyone else because I feel like they're also in the same boat. They're probably coming off a stressful day of school or work. They come to the arena. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah. So what would it take for you to be comfortable inviting people to join you to do something?
Probably familiarity. I only go there maybe. I've only been there this year. I've only been there once.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if I keep going over and over, maybe I'll find a group that constantly goes. But it's just it is a rare occurrence.
Do you still play those games?
Oh, absolutely. A little too much, if you ask me.
Do you think those people play those games?
Yeah, probably.
Is there a chance that you could ask them for their gamer tags and then play with them?
Yeah, there is a chance. It's just it's a matter of finding the window to get through. It's like finding the opportunity to see that it's a good idea to ask someone about that.
The opportunity that it's a good idea to ask someone.
Yeah, like how do I know that they're open to having someone talk to them in the first place? And then when is it a comfortable time to like ask them about, hey, you want to after this, maybe today or tonight or tomorrow we could log on.
Can I suggest to you how I think it could go?
Go for it.
So this is hypothetical. I've never been to the Riot Games arena, although I would love to. Maybe someday. You go watch a match. You're sitting by yourself. Something crazy happens. You comment on that to the person next to you. Did you see that? Isn't that crazy? How do they do that? They may not respond. Or they may be like, yeah, I can't believe it. They're awesome. Whatever team it is, whatever. Do you think they're going to win? Well, maybe. And you can just keep having a conversation. That's inviting them someone to have a conversation. You could say like, oh, do you see that? And the person will be like, who the fuck are you? Sure, that can happen. But you can start a conversation that way. Later, you don't have to say, hey, let's do A, B, C, D. Let's meet at this day on this time to do whatever. You don't have to. You can just be like, hey, what's your Instagram? What's your gamer tag? That's it. No excuses, no reasons, no nothing. If they ask, why do you want it? You can say, well, I think you're cool and I would like to stay in touch. Later on, you can text them and be like, hey, I'm going to play later today. Do you want to play together? You already know they at least live close by enough to go to the arena. Unless, again, there are foreigners who only go to the arena to watch those games, which would be rare.
It is rare. I've actually met someone like that.
Sure.
It is rare, yeah.
Yeah, but it is rare, right? How did you meet them?
Well, we are actually, one of the teams invited us to do a shoot with them. This was actually recently. I believe they're studying abroad. So they're like from, I think it was, I forgot, Ireland or Scotland. They're over there and they're studying here for college. And they just happen to be in the same place we're in the arena. And they're not going to be here long, but they did say, while we're here, we might as well go to a couple of these before we go back.
But you said you met them.
Yeah, at the shoot. So we were kind of just having like little conversations already. There's like a little waiting area, and I think what you're talking about is what I did there. I kind of just took a risk and just started talking to someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was at the shoot, and they said that we're here. It just coincidentally happened to be at the place where a lot of the teams are and the arena is. So we got invited to the shoot. Might as well take advantage of it.
Why did you get invited to the shoot?
The team NRG sometimes does they kind of like go on social media and be like, hey, if anyone's down to do content with us, send us a DM or something. And they say that anyone's in LA, shoot us a DM or reply to this message. And I was one of them, and I just happened to be one of the people invited.
And did you meet other people apart from the team who was not from the not
Just
locals?
that one person. I mean, aside from the hosts, but I mean, they're kind of like the guys that were already talking to us from the
Sure.
start. So yeah.
What about the other attendees?
Not really.
Why?
I don't know. It's just I think it was, if anything, I was actually kind of scared. I was kind of like nervous because this really was like, you're going to be on camera, and
You have to put your makeup on and really
I want,
shave.
not only did I want to look good, I didn't want to do anything dumb, and then it gets caught, or not saying it's like I didn't want to do anything or say anything, and then it's like on camera. So that fear was like, I better be, very chill. I didn't want to, start anything.
Right. But they were not shooting 24/7. There were breaks between the shooting, right?
There were some breaks, yeah, but being in that environment, since
You're overwhelmed.
yeah, it was overwhelming, I guess. Yeah, it was. I was kind of. It may have not looked like it, but I was like sweating bullets while I was there. Like I can't believe I'm in the place, where some of my favorite players have played before. But this is also the place where I watch all their YouTube videos be made. Like I was just like taking everything in.
Wouldn't that have been amazing to share with someone?
Yeah, it would. But that was only one time though. So it really,
Sure.
maybe if I go there, this isn't going to happen. I know, because that was such a rare occurrence. But if I went there maybe once a weekend, maybe I'll get used to that environment, and then I'll get used to the people there. But since it was the first time, I was just, overwhelmed. I was, one corner you see where they make the videos, one corner you see where the pro players practice, and the other corner you see all their trophies, where you see them lift it from like, out of the state, out of the country, and you're like, oh my god, I'm in this environment. This is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I mean, you were more focused on that than on meeting people, which is absolutely fair. You just reminded me a long time ago, I think right before the pandemic started, I went to see a band called Tool. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I haven't, but
It's a band that I've always loved and that I really wanted to see since I was a kid. And I got a chance to actually see them. So I bought like the VIP tickets to see the sound check and stuff. While I was in line, I don't know how I started talking to someone in front of or behind me. And we just kept chatting. And then we went to see the sound check. And then I was chatting next to someone. I was like standing next to someone. I was like, "Oh, isn't the singer here?" And someone was like, "Oh no, like apparently like he doesn't want to be." Oh, okay. So like we just kept chatting. And then there was like, before the show, we had like a small dinner provided for us. And we all sat at the same table and just chatted and then exchanged contacts. And we were all like, oh my God, we're here. We're like the VIPs for this band that we all love. Right. And that was pretty much the center of the conversation, or like the starting of the conversation. Right. We were like, dude, can you believe it? Like we're going to actually see them perform we were like 100 people. Right. Later, the show was like, I don't know, thousands. And we were all in the same place as you were. And that's what actually bonded us together. It's just an idea, but like, I think you have lots of opportunities to meet people while you do what you like. What do you think about that?
I'd say, I don't know if I have a lot. I talk about these like it's like a weekly basis. This is pretty rare. The Riot Arena, the last time I was there was March of this year. Mm-hmm. And since the season's over, I'm probably not going to get another opportunity until maybe next year, unless they do a special event. But
sure.
The shoot, the photo shoot or the video shoot was also a rare thing. That was the first time I ever did that. So I think I just need to find. I would love to find a place where it's consistently like that, where it's like things I like, things where we have common interests, but I haven't really found that yet.
Are there any video game bars?
There was one, and I was so waiting to turn 18 to, or like, no, it was 21. Sorry. And here it's 21, 18. I'm going to go to jail. But yeah, I was so waiting to hit 21 to hit that. COVID hits and it closes. And I'm like, wow. I was like, yeah. So that's never happening unless they reopen. They always say, oh, this isn't the end on their social media, but they haven't come back since.
Yeah. When I said I think you have lots of options, I was not just talking about the arena, and I was not just talking about getting invited to the photo shoot. Mm-hmm. I was talking about you have interests and hobbies that are exposing you to people, or that could expose you to people if you wanted to.
At the moment, I don't really have a lot of those. Like I said, most of the time I'm either working or studying or both.
Sure. And when you're doing those hobbies, you're doing them by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that moment, I'm just not really thinking about like, I should probably take it as a group activity. I'm like, this is my time. I'm not going to have this for another week, so I might as well take advantage of it.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think that's part of the problem too. Like, it's just that's not even me telling myself. It's just subconsciously. That's what I do. And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, it's already, the weekend's done.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up, to make it conscious.
Yeah.
Right. It's, you don't lack opportunities. You're just not pursuing them.
That's fair. Yeah. I'm just not really thinking about that.
Which, look, it's absolutely valid. You don't have to pursue them. But if you come into my comment section saying, oh, I could never find someone because I don't have options and I'm too shy, I'm going to bring in the show and be like, dude, you do have options. You're not so shy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just more of like I mean, it's mostly a joke. It's the way I say it, it was kind of I remember the comments. It was like, I'm cooked or something like that. Yes. Yeah. So it's like half a joke. At the other half is like, I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Do you think you have a better idea of how to do it now?
I definitely think so. It's just more of like finding a time to look into it, and then actually finding the groups, and then finding time to meet those groups.
One step at a time.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't look at the top of the mountain from the bottom of the hill. Like, there's lots of small steps, and I have lots of free content both on YouTube and on Instagram that you can look at if you want. And I have a free guide, like with every single step, but you have to do one step at a time. Like, and the content that I've made usually goes up to meeting people. It doesn't even get to like asking out on a date or stuff. Cause like, there's already enough steps to keep you occupied for a while. Right. But it's just one step. It's just next time you open the app to go to Facebook dating, go to the search bar. Take 5 minutes. Look at the groups. Next time you instead of opening Instagram, install Meetup. Check out Meetup. It doesn't have to take long. And it can be like super small steps. If you want to. You don't have to. For what I've heard, you do have the time, because you have the time to do those things by yourself. You could be doing the same things with people. And you could be meeting new people regularly. And you could be meeting potential partners regularly. The choice is yours.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair analysis.
Do you have any questions or comments for me before we wrap up?
No. I think this is great. It was awesome to have this opportunity to kind of speak on this, because I know there are a lot of people that are in my shoes. I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this was because I know there are a lot of guys that are in my shoes and they don't really know how to do this, and no one's really out there to help them, because it's really easy to say, just go out, Well, I'm stuck in the office for most
Put
of the time.
yourself out there.
Yeah, put yourself out there.
Yes.
You know, and like you said, find those groups. But a lot of people, they don't really know how to do it, or they simply can't because of how their schedule works. Us, with America being a capitalist society, we have to work so much just to make.
Make ends meet.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to say that, but yeah. So I think it's more like we're so focused on that we don't really. I don't know if we ever had it or if we lost it. We just don't have the skills of meeting people because we're so focused on that. So I think me, going into this podcast might help someone, and if I could do that, and it helped me too. It definitely gave me some advice, some helpful advice. But if this would help someone, I would love to do it more.
Awesome. Well, that's literally why I'm doing it. And I would love to bring you back. Like, if you tell me like, hey, I've been doing ABC, I'm stuck. Let's do another one. Sure. Why not? Like, I would love to hear how it goes for you. And if you're like, okay, like I've been meeting people and it's been working. Right. Or it has not been working, whatever it is. But yes, like I know what you mean. It's not just the US, it's the whole world. It's when you're in school and then when you go to university, you sort of have like a built-in system for meeting people. And then you leave there and you're like, what do I do now? I had a 7-year relationship a long time ago. When I broke up, I was like, how am I supposed to meet someone now? And I started like taking classes and going to meetups and doing this and doing that, like sort of like expanding what I was doing. And then as I started traveling, I had to develop a system to meet new people because I only have 3 to 6 months in each place. I don't have much time to meet people and I'm all alone. So that's pretty much what I'm sharing. Right. Because like I do go out, I do meet people, I do date. And I've done that everywhere in the world. So there's not really much of an excuse. And I'm also working and I'm also traveling. And it takes me like a month to sort of like settle in everywhere I go. The question is, do you want to do it? Brandon, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming. This was great. And everyone, I hope that this was helpful and that it at least gave you some ideas. I know that many of you are in the same situation and you also feel like you're cooked. So, just leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions for Brandon or for past guests or that you want me to ask in the future, just leave a comment. Send me an email at dm@datelikeanerd.com or at datelikeanerd anywhere on social media. And take care and continue playing.
Looking for a player too? I've interviewed hundreds of nerds and learned what really works. Download your data-backed guide with real stories, actionable tips, and a step-by-step system for finding love the nerd way at datelikeanerd.com/reality.